Right now, private health information of hundreds of thousands of people in Wisconsin is threatened after a massive data breach in Adams County. Who could be responsible for jeopardizing information over the past 5 years? Plus, it's your last chance for early voting ahead of Tuesday's primary. What to know before heading to the polls. And skiing, sliding, and gliding their way into the weekend. Athletes are showing off their skills on the water in Janesville. A look at the national competition.
This is News 3 This Morning, Saturday.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for News 3 This Morning, Saturday. It is August 11th. I'm Josh Breder with meteorologist Chris Reese, and those skiers should have a pretty nice weekend the way it's shaping up.
Oh yeah, Josh, it's going to be a very spectacular weekend. Already we have started things off on a nice note around town. The sun beginning to rise out there. Well, the sun rose a long time ago, actually, but it's pretty bright, and there's a little bit of haze on the horizon, but it's really not all that big of a deal. 69 degrees already this morning. It was 64 just moments ago, so we've seen a 5-degree increase in temperature just in the past hour or so, and we will have a pretty warm day as we continue to go through the rest of it. 70 in Monroe, Janesville at 66 right now, 74 over in Milwaukee. Expect temperatures to reach the low to mid 80s for those highs this afternoon. It's also going to be hazy in the northeastern part of the state. We cannot rule out the possibility of a shower or thunderstorm. Now, a lot of you want to know, hey, Chris, there's a meteor shower coming on tonight. What's going on with that? I'll give you all updates as we go through the show on just how you all can expect and what the overnight viewing conditions for the meteor shower will look like. I'll give you a hint. It looks pretty good. There we go. Traffic is moving pretty good as well this morning. No issues or delays have shown up. There are some brake lights showing up near Stoughton Road, but that's typical with the brake light or with the stoplights that they have going on over there. But the rest of Dane County looking pretty spectacular this Saturday morning.
Lots of talk on that meteor shower tonight.
Oh yes, social media will be, I'm sure, fired up with all of that.
And we'll be sleeping.
Yep.
So. All right, Chris, thank you.
Anytime.
We are tracking breaking news from overnight. Officials at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport say the employee that took one of their planes for a spin Friday before crashing into the Puget Sound was suicidal and acting alone. They also say this was not an act of terror. No passengers were on board during the incident last night. As you can see from this video, the plane was looping around and even flying upside down before the crash. Investigators say the 29-year-old man flying the plane was either doing stunts or didn't know how to fly it, which eventually caused a crash. All flights were grounded, causing quite the chaos at the airport, but this morning everything is back to normal. Now to the data breach in Adams County, potentially threatening hundreds of thousands of people. Investigators are looking at a laptop used by the Adams County clerk. 258,000 residents could potentially be affected across the state. Search warrants obtained by News 3 Friday showed investigators are looking at the laptop computer used by current Adams County clerk Cindy Philippi. They're searching for evidence of computer crimes and misconduct in public office between January 2013 and July 2018. Adams County officials have notified the public of that data breach affecting people whose health and personal information is kept in Adams County computers. The county manager told us the suspect is a county employee but would not confirm or deny the employee was Philippi. Details from investigators in the search warrant show Philippi had one point unexplained access to key security software. This would have given her access to sensitive information. As for the breach, the manager says they don't believe the information left the county.
From all the information we have, it's an internal breach. So we have employees that access documents or records that should not have, and that's what we're in the process of cooperating with law enforcement to address that.
Philippi remains the clerk in Adams County and has not yet been charged with a crime. Right now, police are looking for a man they believe stole and used multiple credit cards in Wisconsin and Illinois. The Beaver Dam Police Department says it's investigating a theft by fraud complaint in which an unidentified person stole multiple credit cards from a local YMCA. The cards were either taken from the victim's vehicle or locker and were then used at various stores. Police say the losses incurred by victims as a result of the fraud is likely upwards of $100,000. Police released multiple photos of the suspect. The vehicle he is driving is a dark blue Chrysler minivan and often has stolen or temporary tags or no plates at all. The National Weather Service confirms an EF0 tornado touched down in Deerfield during Thursday's severe storms. That's the lowest scale tornado, but with wind speeds of around 80 miles an hour, it left a path of damage in town. The tornado actually ripped the roof off of the IME building, scattering debris around 10 acres in that area. 3 of their employees were in the building at the time, but luckily nobody was injured. Officials say if this tornado happened just 30 minutes earlier, there would have been nearly 20 employees in the building. Fire and rescue responded quickly to get that gas shut off as well. We're told all these things made the situation much better than it could have been.
I mean, structurally, I think we're going to be okay. It's just the roof is torn off the rafters, but from what we can tell and look at, we haven't got any, experts in here yet to look, but to see structurally wise, I think we're going to be okay. We'll just have to put a new roof on the building, and I know some of our equipment's been tossed around, but that's what we do.
Now it's just time to clean up. We're told they're working on getting the roof replaced and the power back on so they can get right back to work. A first alert traffic note to keep in mind this weekend, especially if you're driving on Madison's far west side. County Highway M will be closed from Cross Country Road in Verona to County Highway PD. That's near the University Ridge Golf Course. You'll recall it's that same stretch that was closed last week. This is happening until 9 tonight, but it could be extended to as late as 6 o'clock Monday morning if the contractor needs more time to finish. The entire County Highway M project is expected to be finished by November. Starting Monday, there's going to be a detour in place if you use Whalen Road on Fitchburg's southwest side. Whalen will be closed between Fitchburg Road and Muchler Road through the end of the month for construction. 8:05 is your time. Today is the last day to vote early in next week's primary election. A number of in-person absentee locations will be open in Madison today at city libraries and at the city clerk's office. You'll need a photo ID, and you can only vote for candidates in one political party. If you're not voting early, this reminder: polls open at 7 a.m. Tuesday. You can expect to see some stuff piling up on the curb this weekend. Normal recycling in Madison has taken a 2-day break ahead of the madness of downtown move-out days next week. City crews had been making special daily pickups of garbage, recycling, and large items, but they've temporarily stopped for the weekend. They'll start again on Monday, emptying refuse and recycling carts every day until next Friday. If you're one of those people moving out over the next week, you're asked to make sure all of your garbage and recycling are in the carts to keep neighborhoods clean. New this morning, on the heels of the CrossFit Championship, a tournament of a different kind is coming to Breese-Stevens Field. It's expected to bring in more than $100,000 for the city of Madison this weekend. It's the American Ultimate Disc League Championships. The Madison Radicals will take on teams from across the country, spanning from New York to Los Angeles. The coach says while Madison may not be as big as those other cities, the passion for Ultimate Frisbee is unmatched.
Championship weekend was here 2 years ago, and it was amazing. We packed the stadium. People love Ultimate in Madison, and it's one of the few places in the world where you could see that kind of crowd.
It's incredible. We've dubbed Madison the championship capital because of all the state tournaments, hosting CrossFit, and things like the AUDL championships.
The Madison Area Sports Commission projects this year's event could have about $100,000 in economic impact. Dallas and New York play at 4 o'clock today, and at 7, Los Angeles faces off against the Radicals. The championship game is set for Sunday. One of Madison's best events of the year is set for later this morning. A local nonprofit is making sure thousands of kids in our community are ready for school next month. 100 Black Men of Madison hopes to help roughly 2,000 families by giving out free backpacks at its 24th annual Back to School event. Over the years, the group has given out around 32,000 backpacks filled with school supplies. For families who go, there will be vendors registering kids for after-school educational programs. There will also be programs specifically designed for kids of color to help them understand they can make it to college. This runs from 9 to noon today at Madison College's Truax campus. 8:08 this morning, many will have their eyes on the skies tonight for the meteor shower. But is the weather going to cooperate? Here's a live look outside this Saturday morning. Kind of a hazy start out there with those fires bringing that smoke down from Canada. Chris is in next with your full First Alert weekend forecast. And it's being called a movie based on a crazy, outrageous, incredibly true story. A behind-the-scenes look at the new Black Klansman movie now showing. That's all ahead right here on News 3 This Morning, Saturday.
Good Saturday morning to all of you. The sun up now, and it is a beautiful morning that we have going on out here. Lots of sunshine, and that is certainly the good news. The temperatures are also warm, 69 degrees already, and we're going to see those temperatures continue to warm from here on out. 70 for our friends over in Monroe, 66 in Janesville, and we're all seeing those temperatures into the 60s and 70s. As we fast forward into the afternoon, we'll see those temperatures approaching the low to mid 80s for those highs before we begin to cool things down closer towards sunset. We have no rain to worry about across the upper Midwest as of now, though a lone shower did actually impact the west side of Madison through Verona and points southward overnight. It only lasted for a couple minutes, but the rain was pretty heavy when it came down. That was essentially a rogue thunderstorm underneath a dry region of high pressure, and on the western side of that, it is really hazy, hot, and humid, and we're going to get hazy today as well. I'll touch on that in a moment, but I want to talk about the heat on the western side of that. Yesterday, Glasgow, Montana saw a high of 107 degrees. Whew. Yes, it was hot for our friends to the west. And now there are some wildfires over Canada, the smoke from those being brought down over southern Wisconsin. That's why we're going to have some haze in the air today. But outside of that, it will be a sunny and mainly clear day. Lots of sunshine, temperatures topping out into the mid 80s today. Tomorrow morning we'll start out in the 60s again. Then those temperatures will top out into the mid 80s. You'll notice some showers coming in along the lake shore. That is actually a lake breeze coming into town, and that will pop up a few showers, but that's it, and those will turn off rather quickly going into tomorrow. Now, in terms of the meteor shower, viewing conditions are going to be pretty spectacular for that. Yeah, a little bit of haze, but for the most part, clear skies, and not just clear skies, but a new moon coming into the picture as well. So it's going to be one of those darkest of nights already, and that should really shape up some pretty good viewing conditions. Just look to the northeast sky. You should be able to see about 70 meteors per hour there. This afternoon, 84 degrees, will be warm and hazy, and a stray shower cannot be ruled out across northeastern Wisconsin. That shower chance a little greater into tomorrow. Temperatures staying warm through the weekend. A few shower chances coming in midweek and next Saturday. Josh?
Looks like the weekend looks pretty good.
The weekend will be fantastic. I think it's going to be a great one to get outdoors if you can.
All right, Chris, thank you.
My pleasure.
Mr. Potter, our new celebrity.
Here's an event Harry Potter fans won't want to miss. Wizarding World XD Week. To mark the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone hitting American bookstores, Cinemark XD theaters will show all 8 Harry Potter movies, plus the spin-off Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Tickets are $5 a show or $25 for a festival pass. The event is happening on August 31st. If you live in the Madison area, you'll have to drive a bit to see the films, though. The closest Cinemark is near Kenosha. The posters for Spike Lee's new movie say it's based on a crazy, outrageous, incredibly true story. David Daniel takes a look at Black Klansman.
Hello, this is Ron Stallworth calling. Who am I speaking with?
This is David Duke.
Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. That David Duke?
What can I do you for?
Well, since you asked, I hate blacks. I hate Jews, Mexicans, and Irish.
A black Colorado cop sets out to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan in Black Klansman.
How do you propose to make this investigation?
We'll establish contact over the phone. We'll need a white officer to play me when they meet face to face.
You for the white race, Ron?
Oh, hell yeah.
So there becomes a combined Ron Stallworth.
Can you do that?
With the right white man, we can do anything. A huge takeaway for me was the support that Ron got, that from the police officers that didn't look like him, that supported this mission. You know, that they did work together and were successful in their mission.
Spike Lee directs John David Washington, son of Denzel, in the film based on a true story from the early 70s, which Lee turns into a commentary on current race relations.
Well, I'm not even here. They'll still be looking at Black Klansman and use this film to show what's happening in America. Not just in the time that the film took place, but how we made this film contemporary.
Are you down for the liberation of black people?
Power to the people.
All power to all the people.
Washington and his co-stars were thrilled to work with the director.
He's actually really receptive to other people's ideas, and he really allows you to, voice your opinions and work together with him to create this story.
The best day, maybe of my career, is Spike Lee calls me personally and says, I want you to play this. I mean, he's a terrible man, but it's such a juicy role. So I was thrilled.
Black power! Black power! Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
That's us, Stallworth brothers.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
What are you're ruining the take, aren't you?
Another Chris Pratt project is up in the air. First Guardians of the Galaxy writer-director James Gunn was fired, putting that franchise in question. Now, according to multiple reports, Cowboy Ninja Viking, based on the graphic novel, has been put on hold indefinitely. That decision comes just a month before Pratt was to begin shooting in London. The actual flick was scheduled to hit theaters next June.
Mr. Sokawa, may I present Ms. Roxanne Kos?
It is a great pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine.
And here's your first look at Bel Canto, based on the best-selling novel about a world-famous opera singer who becomes trapped in a hostage situation in South America. Oscar winner Julianne Moore and Oscar nominee Ken Watanabe star. And real opera legend Renee Fleming provides the singing. That movie hits theaters September 14th. 8:18 this Saturday morning, you'll hear a number of military planes overhead starting Monday, while they'll be flying over Wisconsin. And you might see more kids out on the links this weekend. It'll certainly be a nice weekend for that too. The program teaching kids healthy habits and how to sink a putt when News 3 This Morning Saturday continues.
Good morning. The sun continues to rise higher in the sky as we speak, almost out of the view of our camera there. Still a little bit hazy of a morning. We'll keep that around just about all day long. 69 degrees the temperature right now. Winds are on the calm side. We'll watch our temperatures rise up to about 77 by lunchtime. Then for the afternoon highs, we'll see those temperatures right around 84 degrees, and a stray shower can't be ruled out, mainly northeast of Madison. But this dome of high pressure staying in control all weekend. That's going to keep things very warm and hazy as well, but mainly dry too. I'll have your full forecast coming up later in the show. Josh?
Thanks, Chris. 22 minutes past the hour right now. You might hear and see more planes overhead for the next 2 weeks. Volk Field is hosting the annual Northern Lightning exercise. Aircraft and personnel from the Air Force, National Guard, Marines, and Navy will be flying over 23 Wisconsin counties. They'll be doing offensive and defensive exercises, sometimes traveling at supersonic speeds, all to see how they can increase military readiness.
Northern community to showcase not only the base, but the great state of Wisconsin to well over 1,000 members of the armed forces from all over the country.
You can expect increased flight activity between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. starting Monday through Friday the 24th. We have a full list of all 23 counties affected on our website, channel3000.com. You might see more kids on area golf courses this weekend if they picked up the golfing bug from Friday's 5th annual Healthy Habits Invitational. The event is a neat opportunity for 150 kids from 12 First Tee locations and 5 other agencies to hit the links in Monona and learn the rules and etiquette of the game. First Tee of South Central Wisconsin and Humana lead the event, which goes beyond the game to teach healthy habits for every aspect of life. But the best part of the day,
just the kids. I mean, just the enthusiasm, the love of the game, and knowing what they're going to learn from this experience that they can take on and really, apply to the aspects of their life in the future. It's so much more about the game of golf. It's just inspiring.
the golfers and volunteers took an estimated 1 million steps along the course. Part of the message of the day: to get out, exercise, and be healthy. 8:24 this morning, and there is more ahead here on News 3 This Morning Saturday. Your top stories are next, including the free back-to-school giveaway, making sure all kids are ready for a new school year. And as wildfires continue to burn across California, we'll meet a couple who had planned on getting married before the state's largest car fire destroyed everything they owned. The news is back in the morning on News 3 This Morning Saturday. 2.5 weeks and counting. California's car fire continues to burn, destroying more than 1,000 homes. The story of one of those families who lost everything just as they were about to wed.
This is News 3 This Morning, Saturday.
Good morning and welcome back to News 3 This Morning, Saturday, just before 8:30 on this August 11th. I'm Josh Breiter. Chris will have your weekend forecast in a moment, but first, right now investigators are looking at a laptop used by the Adams County clerk for evidence of a major data breach in that county. The data breach affecting more than 258,000 residents, potentially statewide. Search warrants obtained Friday show investigators are looking at a laptop computer used by current Adams County clerk Cindy Philippi. The warrants show investigators are looking for evidence of computer crimes and misconduct in public office between January 2013 and July 2018. Officials don't believe the health and personal information left that county. Today is your last chance to vote early in next week's primary election. A number of in-person absentee locations will be open in Madison today at city libraries and at the city clerk's office. You will need a photo ID, and remember, you can only vote for candidates in one political party. If you're not voting early, polls open at 7 a.m. Tuesday. A local nonprofit is making sure thousands of kids in our community are ready for school. 100 Black Men of Madison is hoping to help roughly 2,000 families by giving out free backpacks this morning. It's their 24th year for that event. For families who go, there will be vendors registering kids for after-school educational programs. There will also be programs specifically designed for kids of color to help them understand they can make it to college. This runs from 9 to noon today at Madison College's Truax campus. Thousands of competitive water skiers are in Janesville this weekend for the Show Ski National Championship. The 44th annual event is happening at Traxler Park. Teams from across the nation will compete in individual and team events continuing today and tomorrow. Janesville's own Rock Aqua Jays will perform around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. The awards ceremony is set for later that day at 5. The Janesville Gazette reports the championship is expected to bring in $2.5 million into the city this weekend. And it looks like a perfect forecast for some water skiing out there, Chris.
That's right, or a perfect weekend to bring in $2.5 million. I'll tell you what, we've got a $1 million forecast coming into our forecast as well for August. It's going to be a spectacular day out there. Already 69 degrees. Some cloud cover noted, yes, but for the most part, there's a lot of sunshine out there this morning. Dew points are into the low and mid 60s, so yeah, it's starting to get a little bit humid. You'll notice it at least. 69 here in Madison, Monroe at 71, 66 for our friends down in Janesville. And temperatures are all pretty much into the 60s and 70s this morning. As we go through the next 12 hours, we'll track those temperatures topping out right around the mid to upper 80s, right around 84, 85, 86 degrees for most of you when it comes to highs this afternoon. Traffic-wise, things do continue to run smoothly. Here's Todd Drive and the Beltline right now. No major issues are showing up for our friends there, or really anywhere on the Beltline. Dane County as a whole is running smoothly this morning, so maybe you're traveling down to Janesville or up to Madison from Janesville. All in all, it's going to take you about your normal time. Josh.
All right, Chris, that's good news. Thank you. Developing this morning, California's car fire has been burning for 2.5 weeks now. In that time, it has scorched more than 175,000 acres and destroyed close to 1,100 homes. One of those homes belonged to a couple who was about to get married, plans that have had to been put on hold. Spencer Joseph has the latest.
He's a little wore out. Hey, you sit right here.
Bree Harless and Nick Fiscus, along with their adorable sons, like hundreds of others, are without homes tonight after the car fire tore through their community.
So I was getting a little worried. There was a couple firefighters up there from Cal Fire that, I was talking to, and we were all pretty awestruck at how fast it moved and how aggressive it was.
What makes their story even more heartbreaking is that before the fire started, they were preparing for their wedding, which was supposed to be last Sunday.
We were planning on going forward with it, but then the smoke just was really bad, and we had a lot of family coming from out of town, which would fill hotel rooms that we didn't want to take from the people here.
Their wedding was very important to them, especially because Nick's father is dying of cancer.
His father is passing from cancer, and we want him there. We want him to be able to see us get married.
So now, in the middle of sifting through the wreckage of their home, the couple's thoughts are turning to how they can plan a full wedding on a time crunch. To make matters more complicated, their wedding venue, the Elks Lodge in Reading, was also evacuated from the fire, and they haven't been able to get in contact with the family. Aside from the venue, a lot of the wedding supplies were in Nick and Bree's home.
I don't even know where to start because everything is starting from scratch, from point A again with planning a wedding, other than the dress. You know, the dress is taken care of.
One of the few things that remained in the home was a love sign that the couple still plans on using in their wedding. And despite the disaster, Nick and Bree are strong and showing that love can make it through anything.
No matter what, we'll just stick it out, and we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes we don't feel like we're gonna be, we'll be okay.
The car fire is less than half contained. It still threatens more than 500 homes. Officials at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport say the employee that took one of their planes for a spin late Friday before crashing into the Puget Sound was suicidal and acting alone. They also say this was not an act of terror. No passengers were on board during the incident, and this weekend everything is back to normal at the airport. As you can see from this video, the plane was looping around and even flying upside down before the crash. Officials with the sheriff's department there say the 29-year-old man flying the plane was either doing stunts or didn't know how to fly it when it crashed. We're 3 days away from Wisconsin's primary, but in Iowa, a well-known attorney is eyeing a presidential bid in 2020. Michael Avenatti, the attorney representing adult entertainer Stormy Daniels, spoke at the Democratic Wing Ding in Cedar Falls last night. That event is often a sounding board for politicians toying with a presidential run. Avenatti has talked about a run for presidency, but so far no announcement. He has no political experience, but many of the thousands of people in the crowd say they'd still support him. Time right now is 8:34. Construction won't stop an annual festival, and now's the time to book your tickets for a winter getaway to someplace warm. Plus, while it's the last straw for many businesses using plastic ones, a Wisconsin-based paper straw company is booming. The new deal is signed this week when News 3 This Morning Saturday returns.
Good morning to all of you. Still a hazy look that we do have outside. The sun is out. It's just hazy. It's going to be that way just about all day long. 69 degrees as we go through the rest of the morning. Towards lunchtime, we'll see those temperatures bounce up to about 77. Then during the peak heating of the afternoon, we'll see those temperatures right around 84 degrees, warm and hazy, and there is the slightest chance of a shower, mainly northeast of Madison, that can't be ruled out. But for the most part, we should be dry. The Perseid meteor shower is tonight. Coming up in Maine weather, I'll talk about what kind of viewing conditions you can expect. Josh.
Thanks, Chris. 8:38 is your time right now. Looking ahead, the annual Monroe Street Festival will go on as usual, even with the major road construction project happening there. Organizers are submitting an application for this year's fair at the Street Use Staff Commission meeting this week. The festival is planned for September 22nd, even though construction on Monroe Street isn't expected to wrap up until November. Organizers are planning on setting up along the sidewalks instead of the actual street this year. The event will mark its 41st year this fall. Right now, a warning to anyone planning to use a gift card this weekend. Gift card scams continue to be growing, which is prompting a warning from the FBI. Some cards hide the numbers and PIN numbers on cards, but others are easy to see. Some people go to stores and write down these numbers. They then monitor the card's balance and use it once it's filled. This is called gift card draining. Other cards have a silver sticker covering the PIN, but the FBI says thieves simply remove the old sticker, record the number, and replace it with a new one.
So the next question is, how do the thieves know when the cards have money?
Some of them, again, depending on the level of sophistication, will just go online, do it by hand. Others have developed custom written software. That software will then return the result to the hacker and say, here are the card numbers that have been activated, and here's the money that you can now use.
Retailers use packaging which covers and protects magnetic strips and gift card pins. As restaurants across the country abandon plastic straws for paper, the only producer of paper straws in the United States, Aardvark Straws, has been acquired by a Wisconsin-based company that makes disposable tableware. Aaron Taylor traveled to Oshkosh to learn more about how companies like the Hofmaster Group and area restaurants are trying to stay on top of this earth-friendly trend.
Plastic straws are a $2 billion a year business around the globe.
In restaurants across the country, the tide is changing.
As that starts to transition to being paper, this will give us an opportunity to be in a leadership position.
But just across town, another solution has been stirred up.
About 8 months ago, we made the shift to not giving everybody a straw whenever they get a drink. We use wooden stir sticks instead of straws.
Plastic straws are still available upon request, but not a lot of people are asking.
We haven't kept formal records. Our best guess is about 10% of the people who ask for a straw, so we're using 90% less straws right off the bat.
Beckett's may not currently offer paper straws, but with Hofmaster's purchase of Aardvark, management is interested in being able to shop local.
We like local things as much as we like good ecological things. It's been a little hard to get paper straws as people are making this shift. So if they can help Aardvark make straws more quickly, that's better for everybody.
We're really going to put a ton of time and resources into getting the production levels up so it can match what is an unprecedented consumer demand.
And in the meantime, they're not trying to stir the pot.
And some people just prefer to have a straw, and that's fine by us. We're not here to tell you how you should drink your drink. We're just here to help make the right decisions about your drink.
They just want to mix some drinks.
According to Hofmaster Group officials, Aardvark paper straws are biodegradable, marine-friendly, and compostable. Time right now is 8:42, and now is your time to book your winter getaway. The Dane County Airport announced its newest nonstop destination this week, Phoenix, Arizona. The airport says it's the 18th nonstop flight out of Madison right now. Frontier Airlines is adding the new service on November 17th, and there will be 2 weekly flights to Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. Flights will depart out of Madison on Wednesdays and Saturdays. 8:42 right now. Looking for something to do this weekend? We have some ideas for you. A variety of events that will have you laughing, singing, eating, and even feeling like a sorority girl. Your Weekend 608 is next on News 3 This Morning, Saturday. But first, happy birthday to all of the kiddos turning 3 years old today. We're back after this.
Happy Saturday and welcome to the weekend. Already a pretty warm day out there, 69 degrees right now, and plenty of sunshine coming into the picture as well. The thing is, it's filtered by quite a bit of haze. We'll explain that in just a second. 69 here in town, Janesville at 66, Monroe already at 72 degrees. Same for our friends in Mineral Point, 70 in Platteville. We're all seeing those temperatures into the 60s and 70s this morning, and we'll all take off into the low and mid 80s for highs, especially as we begin to approach the afternoon peak heating of the day. Some places may see 85 to 86 degrees. Now, in terms of rainfall, there was one lone shower that came through the Verona area in the middle of the night, but that just popped up and fell apart. Right now, we have clear skies just about across all of the upper Midwest. No showers or thunderstorms to really talk about, although with the lake breeze kicking up later today, it is very possible in the northeastern part of the state to get a shower or a thunderstorm. But the main controlling factor of our weather, we do have this dome of high pressure centered right over southern Minnesota that's keeping things dry. Now, on the western side of that, things are very hot, hazy, and humid as well. Speaking of the haze, there's some wildfires over Canada, and the smoke from those is being brought down over the upper Midwest today. So that is why there will be a lot more haze into the atmosphere if you're going to be driving up to Minnesota at all this weekend. They actually have an air quality alert due to the amount of smoke that's in the atmosphere. But it is really hot on the western side of this. Yesterday, Glasgow, Montana made it up to 107 degrees. It'll likely be triple-digit heat for our friends there today as well. We'll stay on the cool side with temperatures into the mid-80s for those highs. Lots of sunshine today. Tomorrow morning, we'll start out in the 60s, and then we'll jump things into the mid and upper 80s again. And remember that lake breeze, that'll kick in again tomorrow with that chance for some showers and thunderstorms. The meteor shower coming in tonight. Good news, we're going to have a new moon and clear skies, so we should have beautiful meteor viewing conditions. You'll see up to about 70 meteors per hour. Before we get to tonight, 84 degrees this afternoon, warm and sunny as well. We'll keep the sunshine around going through the rest of the weekend. Warm for your Monday, 87 degrees. How about that? And then another rain chance comes in Tuesday and into Wednesday. By next weekend, there's another rain chance as well. Doesn't look impressive, but nonetheless, it is there. Your pet walk forecast. Say hello to Lily. She is right here in Madison. If you're going to be walking her this afternoon, temperatures in the low to mid 80s.
Probably a busy day at the dog park.
Oh, yes, it will. Lots of folks are going to be outdoors this weekend. It's a good weekend for it.
It certainly is. All right, Chris, thank you. Well, we've been asking you to share your morning with us. Oh, dear. Check out this picture Bill Duda sent us. Check out the deer there. It looks like he's having a little snack there. She's having a little snack. That's from Reedsburg. Thanks for sharing, Bill. So what does your morning look like? You should take a picture and post it to the Channel 3000 Facebook page or on Twitter using the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and we share our favorites right here on the program. Well, it is the weekend in the 608.
That's right. Here's a look at what's going on in the Madison area.
It's your chance to be a sorority girl for a night and maybe work on your bend and snap. It's Legally Blonde, the musical at the Middleton Performing Arts Center. Join Ellie Woods and her chihuahua as they take over Harvard Law School in an attempt to win back the boyfriend who dumped her. The local actress in the lead role is pursuing an acting degree at Ithaca College in New York. Best of luck to her. You can catch that show tonight at 7:30 or a matinee performance tomorrow at 2 p.m.
I'm sure that'll come perfect with the Sorority Girl Squat. But in the meantime, it is the 3rd annual New Music Festival here in Madison that continues all weekend long. This takes place at the Madison Museum of Contemporary Art and showcases classical music created in Wisconsin. And this weekend is going to be comprised of 3 concerts. This afternoon at the Bethel Lutheran Church, there's spiritual organ music. The concert closing the festival will take place tomorrow evening in the Robinia Courtyard on East Wash Avenue, and that's going to bring together all the musicians who perform throughout this event.
This Sunday is your chance to eat, drink, and be green. From 1 to 7, artists, chefs, and beverage vendors will all come together at Tenney Park for the 2nd annual Makeshift Festival. The food booths for local and Midwest restaurants will be small, affordable plates, and art installations will promote sustainability and love for public green space.
And lastly, this is a series so good we just can't leave it out. Usually we promote weekend events, but Jazz at 5, a free concert series on the Capitol steps taking place every Wednesday night, is not one to miss. For the next 4 Wednesday nights, 3 acts will be showcased starting at 4, 5, and 6:30. It is the 25th anniversary for Jazz at 5, featuring youth groups and professional players. It's perfect, really, where concerts on the square left off. Jazz at 5 picks up to close out the rest of the summer.
Keeping Wednesday nights busy, I love it. And as always, you can pick up a copy of this month's Madison magazine for all of the best in the Madison area. 8:51 right now. Stay with News 3 and Channel 3000 today. On our news tonight at 6 and 10, we're heading to the Battle of the Badges as local police officers and firefighters take the field for a special cause. How they're using a softball game to make the difference in children's lives for years to come. But first, following the money. A citywide treasure hunt in one town draws thousands of people searching for thousands of dollars. We'll take you there when News 3 This Morning Saturday continues. Welcome back at 8:55 this morning. If you think treasure hunts are just for kids, think again. People living in South Carolina had a chance to win some big money this week.
But in order to do that, they had to find some things first. Joe Ripley takes us alongside their massive treasure hunt.
I read about it on Facebook, and I was like, yeah, I ain't got nothing to do after work. Go try to find some money, you know.
Gerard Henderson ran to follow the money.
I'm hauling. I'm going as fast as I can.
It's gotta be close. Where is it?
Others unearthed plants and waded through water.
We saw people rolling down the hill. It was crazy.
The crowd grew and grew and grew. Thousands of people glued to their phones, waiting for clues to win the cash.
Nothing dangerous. I want to be respectful, but nothing, you know, I'll be calm and I'll do what needs to be done to get the money.
Calm quickly went out the window. The dash for cash, 20 $100 bills dispersed in downtown Greenville. Ordinance released every half hour.
I like to have some, yes, but it's hard to keep up with these young people.
It's just a great way to bring people together and have some fun.
Some got their hands dirty, put in some sweat equity, gathered around game masters with red balloons.
It was crazy. There's a lot of people running. There's a lot of people out here, I think a lot more than we kind of expected.
And for 20 winners, their hard work paid off.
Under the stairs, over there.
Thousands spent hours to get rich quick. It only took Seth Crawford about 20 minutes. He considers the hassle worth it, especially for a nice dinner.
I was like, yes, that's it.
Now, the event was first planned to take place last week, but bad weather forced a delay. It's imagine when you get just a little cash in there and people work harder than you've ever seen them before.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think they've cracked the code to how to get people to work out and be outside.
There you go.
For a little
One
money
guy was
at
just
it.
sprinting down the street.
I know. All right, so this afternoon, if you're going to be out, it's a perfect weekend to fire up the grill. Take advantage of that if you do have the chance to do so. Temperatures will be staying above average for the next several days, by the way, before we eventually cool things down to about where they should be for this time of the year. Going through the rest of the morning, we'll see temperatures into the upper 70s by lunchtime.
All right, thanks, Chris, and thanks for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning from 6:30 to 8.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.